Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Raspberry Pi Imager and a cool new feature that it has in it. So I've opened up Raspberry Pi Imager 1.5 and it says there's a new version available, so I'll say let's download this. I'll hit yes. You can also go to raspberrypi.org/software. I'll click download for Mac OS. So I'll open this. I'll drag it to my applications folder. I'll say replace. It says it's in use, so I will close that down. Try that again. Okay, I'll close out of here. I'll open it up now. It's asking if I want to open it. I'll say OK, or open. And here we have the new version 1.6. So I can remove the disk image now that had the installer. So I'll say choose OS. And I could choose Raspberry Pi OS here, but I tend to download my images because I use them over and over. So I'll just go to those and I'll find the one I need. I have lots of them on here. I probably need to clean this up a little bit. I'll probably go with Raspberry Pi OS Lite. So I'll say open there. Now we have storage. So this used to say choose SD card. Now it says choose SD or choose storage. So I'll click on that. I'll insert my SD card. And I think the reason they changed that to storage because you can use micro SD cards, or USB drives. So I'm using a micro SD card. Now before I hit write, what I'll do is I'll hit Control-Shift-X, and that brings up kind of like a hidden secret menu. And this has some options we can pre-configure. So it says the image customization options for this session only, or to always use. So if you create a lot of images, you can change this to always use, and it should save you a lot of time. So first off, I can disable overscan. I always disable overscan. The only reason I would need overscan is if I plug this into some old TV or something, and I never do that. You can set the host name here. So I'll just change this to Raspberry Pi New. You can enable SSH. So if you want to do a headless setup, it's not too hard to enable SSH. You just put a blank file in the boot directory called SSH, but here you can do it automatically, and you can also set the password here. Or you can set up public key authentication. So I'll change the password here to password as opposed to Raspberry. That's an equally bad password, but you can also configure Wi-Fi. I'm not going to be doing it now, but if you use Wi-Fi, you can set that up here. We have set locale settings, so I can set my time zone. It looks like it found that on my computer, so it set it to America, Chicago, so that's nice. Keyboard layout is US. So I'll skip the first run wizard because this is a lot of the stuff that I would be entering in if I ran that wizard, so this is very handy. And then we have persistent settings. It says play sound when finished. Sure, why not? Eject media when finished, and enable telemetry. So I'll uncheck that and I'll hit save, and now I'll hit write. It's asking if I want to continue. I'll say yes. I'll enter in my password. And now it's going to write the image and verify the image, and it should eject it automatically. Okay, it says write successful. I'll hit continue. I'll pull the SD card out and I'll insert it into the Raspberry Pi and we'll boot that up. Okay, so it's booted up. I'll log in. I'm going to change the font size here so it's easier to see. Okay, so as we can see, the host name here is Raspberry Pi New. The password was the password I entered in. I'll check some of the keys that I type. So if I do the @ symbol, that works, the quote works. So if I don't have the right locale or the right keyboard set up, those characters don't work normally. So I think that's a neat new feature of the Raspberry Pi Imager software. I think this is going to save a lot of time doing the pre-configuration that I always have to do just to get into the system. Now I still would want to update the system after it logs in. I didn't see any provision for doing that automatically there. So I'm using Raspberry Pi OS Lite, but I'm guessing it would work with the other versions of Raspberry Pi OS. I don't know if it would work with the Ubuntu or Twister OS or the other OSs. There could be some features that work with it and some that don't. I'm not completely sure. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.